Hi, I'm Adrian Bermeo, and today I will be analyzing a biography on William Penn. William Penn was an English Quaker, an entrepreneur, philosopher, and founder of Philadelphia. He was born October 14, 1644, and died July 30th of 1718. William Penn was born to a wealthy family in England. He was born in Tower Hill, London in 1644, but after a childhood episode of chickenpox, he lost all his hair, and the family moved to a small country estate in Essex. Penn's father had inherited a large estate in Ireland for his services to Cromwell during his conquest of Ireland. When William Penn was 15, the family fell out of favor with Cromwell and they moved to the estate in Ireland. However, a year later, Cromwell died. And as an admiral in the Navy, Penn's father was instrumental in successfully bringing back the exiled Charles II by boat back to England. The king was very grateful for Penn's services and felt indebted to his family. Also, the essence of Quakers' religion was to see no intermediary between man and God. As a result, Quaker could not swear an oath of allegiance to either King of Parliament in the upheaval of the English Civil War that was a radical distant. After returning to England, Penn enrolled at Christ Church, Oxford University, where he became more involved in discussing religious beliefs and democracy. When the Oxford theologian John Owen was fired and censured for his dissenting views, the young Penn stood by the dean and continued to associate with him. As a result of his stance, the university fined him and worried about the damage to the family reputation. His father removed him from Oxford and later sent him to Paris, France, hoping he would modify his radical views. But in Paris, he gained further spiritual ideas from Moise Amurant, a Christian humanist who Penn liked. On returning to London, Penn studied law, but London was so ravaged by the plague and the Great Fire of London. Because of the plague, Penn temporarily returned to Ireland. His experience helped cultivate a deeper conviction in his Quaker views, and he became friendly with George Fox and other prominent Quakers. Due to his profession of the Quaker faith and his virulent pamphlets promoting Quakerism and criticizing other Christian faiths, he was sent to prison for short periods of time. One occasion in 1870, Penn was arrested for holding a non-Anglican religious meeting. The judge, the Lord Mayor of London, oversaw the trial and refused to allow Penn to even see the charges laid against him. As a result, the jury returned a verdict of not guilty. Penn was released, but several periods of time in jail. He was put back. In 1669, whilst in jail, he wrote "No Cross, No Crown." It was a classic of prison literature, expanding Quaker philosophy in an engaging way. Penn became one of the leading proponents of Quakerism and was defiant about the threat to jail, not holding back on his criticism of religious. When William Penn came to the United States, he had to learn multiple languages of different tribes to have better communication with the leaders because he wanted to spread his beliefs of democracy. And he proposed the idea of a federation of all the American colonies united together as one, and it would be a practical solution and they would have good relationships. This was a great idea behind the future of the United States. And he also proposed the idea of a federation of European states, which is often seen as the European Union. In the documentary I read, it was very chronological. It started from the beginning of his life all the way to the end. I feel like they organized it this way to show how he lived his life and what hardships he had to go through in order to get where he wanted to be. Also, growing up, he already had an idea of what he was meant to do, and what he thought he had to do was spread his ideas on democracy, his religious beliefs, and as he grew up, he started to do so in going to different countries and coming all the way to the United States and learning all the different languages to be able to communicate. I feel was something that was very smart of him to do, because it was a new country and there was no set beliefs yet. So him coming to the United States, he could bring his teachings over here and help us in our evolution, growing through better governments each time and time and again. And I feel that he did a good job in coming to the United States because it was a good canvas for him to teach. Um, Also, it was hard back in the day to learn how to like move around, get your stuff more noticeable. There's not propaganda like is today. Back then, you had to say it by mouth. Or you could even do posters, but it was hard back in the day because the U.S. was still fairly a new country, so it was hard for you to uh, have your teachings. Um, he was very ethical man. He had you gain your love. Friendship is just, and everybody has a desire to win. Um, and that's how he lived his life. And I feel that William Penn was just his ideas really helped us in our shaping of our country today.